Hey friends, happy new month. I'm coming here to tell you some good news. I'm so excited for this. I've been hinting on it through different episodes, but now I'm literally here having a sit down with me. I hope you've got your coffee. Appreciate you no matter what part of the world that you are tuning in from. You are a blessing and I love you being here. So, speaking of fall, speaking of autumn, it's one of my favorite months being a winter baby. I have created some merch. I don't know if you've been to the website and seen my merch tab, but I am going to link the new sweater that I've literally just launched and just designed. And you can go if you're somebody who likes the oversized sweaters or you know somebody who loves the oversized sweaters, you are not going to want to miss this. But that's not what this bonus episode is for, even though that is really good. I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about the focus on the fat loss program. The focus on the fat loss program is something that I know will change your life the way that it changed mine. Now, I've been frustrated, confused, looking for a solution that works. And you know what? I tried diet pills, I tried fat burning pills, I tried juice cleanses, I tried detoxes for 3 days. I tried everything to get my body back in shape. I did keto. And you know what? I did get some results, but actually, I still did not get the results that I wanted because I got into a stage where I was, and I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. I haven't shared this story in a while, so I'm going to share a little bit of a story and tell you about why I created Focus on the Fat Loss. Now, around 4.5, 5 years ago, I was fed up. And the saying that I used to say to myself every single day was, I'm fat, fed up, and frustrated. Every single day, without fail, I would look in the mirror and say, I'm fat, fed up, and frustrated. My belly was hanging over me, so far over me that I couldn't see my toes. Now, I'm slim framed. My legs are slim framed and my arms are slim framed, but my upper back, my chest, and my belly are literally the fattest part of me. Everywhere else is all slim. And one day I was just fed up. I was fed up of doing diets. I was fed up of doing Slimming World. I was fed up of cutting out carbs because I always seemed to go back to the things that continued to hurt me and to make me gain weight. At the time, I was not allowed to eat Chinese, and I say allowed, but I wasn't allowed to eat Chinese food because every time I ate it, nothing against Chinese food, but every time I ate it, I'd physically be sick, and I just didn't know what it was. But I knew what it was. I knew what it was. And I knew why I kept going back to Chinese, because I loved Chinese. And over a 20-year period, I got addicted to food. That was my comfort for me. That was my vice. When I was angry, when I was sad, when I was lonely, when nobody wanted to hang around with me, I literally turned to food. I was sick of feeling guilty around food. So I just ate what I wanted to eat. I was sick of feeling like I needed to diet. I was sick of feeling like I'd never have the willpower to stick to a diet for more than a few months. And then I'd binge on all of the foods that I'd missed out on. So that was my cycle. And then what I said to myself was, look at you, you're so fat. Look at you, you're never going to be able to stick to a diet. And that's the thing that used to come into my mind over and over again. I used to battle with those thoughts every single day. Smiling on the outside, but I was broken on the inside. You know, when you pretend that everything's okay. Now, there's a thing that we do at church. When somebody asks you, how are you? I'm fine. And there's a meme that now does that. I'm fine. Yeah, how are you? And then you deflect and you turn it back to that person because you're like, nope, I don't want you to ask me about how I am. I'm fine. I was far from fine. And when I started to address that, actually, I got to the point where my health actually started to say, no, you need to change now. And that is exactly when I realized the problem wasn't my body. Yes, I was overweight. Yes, I needed to lose weight. We all knew that. Even the doctor knew that. But it wasn't my body. It was my mindset. It was the way that I saw myself. I'll step back a little bit. Where it changed to the point where I just let myself go. I had a car accident. I was going to do my friend's hair for her birthday. So we were going for a drive, and you know when your friend is excited, it's like the 21st birthday, or it's your wedding anniversary, or you're about to have your first child and you're planning for your baby shower, and you're just really filled with excitement. That's how excited I was. And I just loved birthdays, even if they weren't mine. I was working out that day. I remember it vividly. We got into the car and we were driving to the local town that I was able to go and pick up the hair stuff. But we didn't actually make it to the hair shop. So what had happened was we stopped at the traffic lights, but suddenly there was a big crash at the back. So we got hit from behind, and we got hit twice. So a van hit the car behind us, and we felt the brunt of the van hit the car behind us. And then the impact of those two vehicles hit our car. We were stationary. They hit our car and then shunted us forward over the traffic line. Now, it could have been a lot worse than it was. So I thank God that it wasn't as worse as I thought it would be, but it was quite damaging all the same. Now, I got out the car and I looked, kid you not, I looked like a hypochondriac. You know those people who pretend that they're injured to get a claim? That's what I looked like. And now I have to laugh at it because one of the bus drivers looked at me and was like, "What are you doing?" Because I had my hand over my head because I actually felt dizzy. He was just looking at me. His face was like, "What on earth are you doing? There is no damage to the car. I don't even know why you're holding your head." But I did. It was literally like when you stand up and you get that dizzy feeling because you stood up too quickly. So we've got a service here that we call 111. So that's before you go into the hospital. So they take you through a whole list of questions and they ask you how you're feeling, etc. They just literally go through a whole history of common things that it could be. So most of the answers to the questions that I was being asked were no. So after the assessment was done on the phone, they decided, from the experience that you've said, we recommend that you go into the hospital. So I went to the hospital alone. So they gave me a concoction of painkillers, and oh my gosh, they were like, woo. If you're pregnant and you have gas and air, that's literally what it was like for me. So they assessed me in triage. They gave me the painkillers and then kind of allowed that time to work on. And by the time I was actually seen by a physician, it was confirmed that I actually had whiplash. And so the nurse actually said to me, "Yeah, you've got whiplash. You'll start to feel the pain in 2 days." In 2 days, I definitely started to feel the pain. And it was a long journey. And I had chronic whiplash. So because I was a passenger, I wasn't the driver. And then it took a good period of time for me to heal, for me to be rehabilitated. I was at a point in my life at the time, just before the accident, where I was ridiculed. I was at my heaviest that I'd ever been. I refused to weigh myself. I refused to stand on the scales because I knew I was fat already. I was fat, fed up, and frustrated. I was tired. I was out of breath. Clothes didn't fit. I always wore black to try and hide myself. I always pulled up my tights right up beneath my breastbone so that they could give me the illusion of being as slim as possible. I did everything I could to try and hide amongst the fat burning pills. That didn't do a thing. Had a personal trainer. Then we stopped working together. Then I continued doing my exercise at home. Then on the day that I literally had exercise, I had the car accident. Couldn't work. I couldn't earn money. I was in debt. And let me tell you, that is the place where everything came kind of crashing down. If I didn't have my faith, probably wouldn't have continued to live. It was that, and I'm getting a little bit emotional, but it was that hard on me at that period of time in my life. I physically couldn't work because I was in pain all the time. It was chronic pain. And I had no money, had no savings, and I just ate. That's the only thing I knew to do. I was in pain, and that's all that I ever did. I ate. I ate my pain away. I ate my frustrations away. I just ate. And literally, I haven't shared this story for a while. Literally, it was just a moment of despair. And even though I was a Christian then, I couldn't see hope. All I could see was the only way for me to get through it was my food. And because I had already built up an unhealthy relationship with food, that was all I knew to do. And so the good news out of that story is I managed to get myself up. I had to do a claim and there was financial assistance given from the claim. It took long to do. So I went through that process and successfully won a sum of money for me at that time of my life. And then I did find a job, praise God. But the turning point for me was finding somebody who could help me. The physiotherapist was incredible. She literally helped me to get back on track in terms of my body. Now, there are some times where if I don't physically go to the gym or I don't work out long enough because of the whiplash, sometimes my back will seize up. So I have to make sure that I'm doing active stretches and walking and doing some form of activity. So there was that light and the hope of the tunnel. And then I went on, doors opened to get a job, and that was fantastic. However, I was heavy again because of all the eating that I did. I was heavy and I was overweight. But things started to change when I realized the problem was not my body. Yes, I put on weight. The problem was my mindset. I began to change and I really began to understand, wait, what is it? If it's my mindset, how can I change my relationship with food? And that's when I went to go and to get counseling. Wasn't ashamed, was happy. And my counseling was amazing. The 4th week in of 8 sessions, I'm crying. I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I crying? Even the counselor was like, why are you crying? He was only asking me, oh, are you happy? How are you? Where are you at with the sessions? We're doing a normal check-in. And I was like, oh, I don't want it to end. It was so amazing at that point in my life that things started to change and literally light bulbs started to go ping, 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 ping all over the place when I actually realized the whole thing was about my mindset, was about rejection. That's how it all started. And so that's why when I learned how to, 1, navigate my nutrition, and 2, change my mindset about food, I started to see results. I started to see that, wait, I could still have carbs. I didn't have to do keto. I didn't have to cut out sugar. I didn't have to cut out my favorite foods. And I could still do the exercises that I liked, that I enjoyed, and I could still eat my foods, and I could still lose weight. I was like, no, wait, there must be something that's going on here. What? Is this real? And I literally was like, wow. My mindset was clear. I had clarity. I had confidence for the first time. Not just people saying to me, oh, you look good. What have you been doing? I was confident in my body. Yes, I still had fat to lose, but I was so confident. And I was like, do you know when you're excited with that kind of news? You're bursting with news to tell somebody. Imagine what you were like when you found out that you were pregnant. Now, a lot of women tend to do this as the gender reveal, or they like put the pregnancy test in a box. Make sure you cover it up and wash your hands after, please. But excited that you have to be able to share it with someone. That was me. I was like, oh my gosh, how can I share this? Like, every person that was struggling with weight loss and they saw the change in me, I can't even show you the pictures now because we're on the podcast, but every person kept asking me, what did you do? How did you do it? You know, people tend to be inquisitive, but when they hear that I just changed my mindset, it's a bit boring. It's not glamorous for them. They're like, what? You didn't cut out carbs? No, I learned to do this and I still learned to eat the foods that I enjoy. When I learned to see those results, I'm like, I want to help other women who are feeling helpless, feeling frustrated, who are feeling confused, who are constantly doing diets, stopping, starting, yo-yo dieting, have no clue how to cook healthy for themselves or the children. I want to help you, not just lose the weight. My mission is to help women like you who struggled like I did with confidence. You don't like looking at yourself in the mirror. You've got low self-esteem. Track your macros to reach your goals. Whether you're looking to go from overweight to healthy or just get off this diet roller coaster altogether, that's exactly why I created Focus on the Fat Loss. And that's exactly why I became a nutrition coach. Through the pandemic, I got qualified. I'm like, no, you know what? I want to be able to teach others to do this. It was hard. It took time. It took changing certain beliefs about myself, but I actually did this and I wanted to share this with women. And I want to encourage you. It's not about being perfect. It's just about being honest with yourself and taking the small steps towards better health every single day until they add up to something big. Because my friends, you just heard me share my story, that I know what it's like to be overweight and feel helpless to do anything about it and just feel like I need to do something. I want to lose weight, but it's not coming off. And I want to encourage you, you have the power to change your life and take control of your health. And it's literally like having a personal trainer in your pocket. That's what this coaching program will help you do. It's an 8-week group coaching program and we partner together. 20 of us sisters doing it for themselves. I'll teach you how to balance your meals so that you can keep eating the foods that makes you feel good so that you can stick with it long term and lose the weight in the process. I'm not going to guarantee that it's not going to be challenging. It is going to be challenging, especially if this is something that you are willing to change. One of the things that I also struggled with was finding the right resources. Dr. Google was there, but I just got so lost. One search would lead me to another, one click would lead me to another, and then I just got lost in this vortex of how to lose weight, how to burn fat, how to lose belly fat. And I felt like there was just so much information out there, but none of it really spoke to me. None of it really helped me as much as digging and dealing with the root cause of my overweightness. And it literally wasn't until then that I started to make real progress towards my goals. So you've heard my story and you also have tried all kinds of diets, low carb, low fat, high carb, but nothing seems to work for you. And then you start thinking about what your friends and family think about you and your weight loss efforts. This one was a killer for me. You're always on a diet. Are you going to eat that? Should you be eating that? How's your diet going? And then they keep sniggering, well, she needs to lose some weight anyway. And that's exactly why I created the program. I wanted to create a program that would give people like you, that would give women everything that you need to start losing weight and keep going until you reach your goals and beyond, not just there. So over the 8 weeks, I will guide you through every stage of your journey so that the long term is to maintain your fat loss. So you know the tools that you need. If you need help and support, I will be there for you to help you in the group. It's a private community, and the benefits of doing group coaching is you get me, you get your personal coach with you who's been there, been in that stage, understanding that and what it's like to not be confident, to change outfits about 6 times in the evening before you even get out the house and making you late to the event every single time because you're not confident, you're not comfortable in your body. The main thing about this program is to help give you the confidence you need to start eating healthier so that when you do hit plateaus or you feel tempted to eat the foods that you love or you feel tempted to eat more, then you know the tools that you need to continue to stay encouraged in this journey. It is going to be a challenge to some of you. It is going to be hard, but I am going to encourage you that I am going to be there with you to help you feel confident in your ability to make these food choices that will benefit your body and still have fun. Some of you might want to eat cheese. Some of you might want to eat bread. At the beginning of this, I started talking about fall. This is hot chocolate season. This is pumpkin spice season. This is marshmallow season. Oh my gosh. I teach you how to navigate your holiday without stressing and feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm on a diet. I can't eat this food. Not to the point where you lose control, but to the point that you understand it and then you can be prepared. So those of you who sign up and we do this, you'll be prepared, ready for the next holiday. You've got lots. You've got September, October, and November. There are 3 months of holidays, and I will prepare you to navigate those holiday seasons. Friends, all of the ways that you can sign up are in the show notes, but you can also go to the website vanutritioncoaching.co.uk/focus. I'm so excited, you don't understand, but I cannot wait to do this with you to help you create a meal plan that actually fits your macros, help you to understand what your macros are, help you to learn to calculate them once we've moved on after the 8 weeks, and help you to focus on shopping for recipes that are healthy that you can enjoy, and helping you to get confident and following a plan that is specific for you, not a generic plan. I'm excited. Head to the website vanutritioncoaching.co.uk/focus and hit the link in the show notes to also go and grab yourself a cozy sweatshirt. You are not going to want to miss this one. Hey friend, you made it to the end of the episode. What was your biggest takeaway from today's episode? Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review over on iTunes. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about today's episode, or you need help, then you can contact me over on Instagram at VA Nutrition Coaching Podcast, or email me support@vanutritioncoaching.co.uk, or you can head over to the Facebook page VA Nutrition Coaching Podcast. It helps us reach even more women who are fed up of dieting, don't know how to lose weight, they're frustrated with following Sally's results and they're not getting any of their own, and they just finally want to shed some pounds and do it in a way that they can sustain and they can enjoy. But my friends, that's a wrap for today's episode. I can't wait to catch you on the next one. Until then, friends, stay healthy, stay blessed, and remember, if you haven't already downloaded your 5-ingredient recipe pack, you can go to the website vanutritioncoaching.co.uk/recipes and download your 5-ingredient recipe pack. Who said healthy eating was boring? See you next time, friend.